Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Matthew Thornton. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. And I want to share with you ideas and concepts that can help you in your relationships, but ultimately help you improve your life. Now today I want to talk with you about the idea of infusing creativity into your life, improvisation into your life. Now in an earlier session when we talked about sabotage, I introduced the concept of homeostasis. And remember, that's that process that keeps us in sort of the boundaries of the way things always have been. In the very first session, I talked about the idea of sequencing and how a lot of times the problems in our life, if we sort of play them out over the course of several days or months, we can start to see the sequences that kind of reinforce and keep that problem going over and over again. We are creatures of habit. We have patterns in our life. We stay static a lot of the times in our life. And so for us, being able to infuse some creativity, some improvisation, some spontaneity into our lives is going to really help in a bunch of different ways. And it can look like little things like just driving home a different way from work. That's going to engage your mind a little bit differently. You're going to have to be more present in the moment with what's happening in that drive home. And I don't know about you, I get so on automatic pilot when I'm driving around that I tend to go the same way every single time, and I just get in a rut with that. Something as simple as that can help sort of trigger some differences in sort of how you're thinking and how your mind's working in a particular day. But then you can sort of build up from there, doing some different things around your life. Maybe you've got a morning routine that really isn't helpful to you. By the time you get to work, you're feeling stressed and anxious already. Maybe you need to change that up a little bit just with what you're doing. If you're talking about a relationship and wanting to improve a relationship, spontaneity and improvisation can be really great in that. Sometimes just introducing some surprise into that relationship, whether that be, hey, just a impromptu, do you want to go get coffee? And that's something completely out of the box for you and your partner, or planning a trip. Maybe it's a small trip for you and your spouse, and surprising them with having them a bag packed for them. That's always something that people talk about as being very romantic, but oftentimes we don't do things like that because we don't want to infringe upon sort of the pattern, the cycle. This is going to be difficult. It may cost a little extra money, those kinds of things. But you've got to really think it through, what can help create some difference for you in terms of some spontaneity and creativity in your life. And there's all kinds of ways that you can do that. But I would just challenge you as you think about the routines and the patterns that are in your life, how can you change them up a little bit? Maybe it's as simple as writing a note to one of your children that you having a difficult time relating to right now. Maybe it's doing something similar for your spouse where you're writing something about how much they mean to you. So introducing those kind of things. You can also make it fun too. Games are a great way to introduce fun, spontaneity. You can engage with your family in a different way by introducing some games. And they don't have to be elaborate. They can be just simple games that you guys can play together. I really recommend things that kind of get you moving, get you talking, things that aren't too heated and competitive. Monopoly is one I would steer away from. If you've ever played Monopoly with close friends and they are no longer close friends, you understand. So there's certain games where you don't want to get into too much competitive mode, and some folks are just geared that way. But you do it for the fun of it, for your family and for your relationship. So that's something that I would recommend to you guys. Now, hopefully this little tidbit of information is going to be helpful to you, and why it's helpful to you is it gets us out of these same cycles and patterns in our life. It introduces some difference, and really a lot of times those small differences can be the things that kind of get us moving in the right direction. Even improvement in a simple sort of thing like how we drive home from work might impact how we arrive at home and our state of mind when we get out of the car and walk into the house to be with our family. So I really hope this information is helpful to you. If you're a mental health professional, you want to find out more about how to introduce creativity, there's a couple different approaches that do that. There's a resource-focused therapy that was developed by Wendel and Dr. Bradford Keeney. Dr. Keeney also has an improvisational therapy that he developed as well. There's quite a few approaches that include spontaneity. Even traditional structural family therapy, Salvador Minuchin, talked about the importance of creativity and spontaneity in relationships as well. So a lot of different approaches really advocate for using creativity and spontaneity in improvisation. If you are someone that is struggling with a mental health concern, I urge you to reach out. Maybe that's the creative thing, the new thing that you need to introduce into your life is reaching out to a professional that can help talk you through these processes so you can understand the things that are keeping you stuck where you are and maybe help you get some ideas about them, some things that you can do differently that may be the thing that sparks a difference for you. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. Again, I'm Dr. Matthew Thornton. Now go out and make a difference in your life.